your profits as we're starting to jump into the game.
Here we go, game 1 in a best of 3. This is for that slot in the knockout stage. It's Outplay going up against ONIC.
Outplay are in dangerous territories here. ONIC have already gotten 1 win. If they lose here, especially 2-0, they're gonna have to go up against Burn X Flash. Home ground advantage to secure the knockout stages.
Now, let's keep in mind here, looking at how the starting lineup is going to be, and especially for both compositions, we're not seeing anything funky happening. It's very standard, very default for both sides.
Yep, no double XP start, so it's a man-to-man roam, but look at how deep Sanz is. What's he thinking here?
He just wants to get vision. This is how Sanz usually plays with the recalls as well. He's got to be careful here, though. Pops in the channel stampede. Good read. Kairi able to secure the lethal Wanderer. Something I want to bring up, though, is URESHII's choice of talent here. He actually went for the Unbending Will instead of the tenacity that we usually see on Arlet.
I'd say 9 out of 10 Arlets these days play the Unbending. Well, 1 out of 10 play the Unbending Will. The other 9 would play the Tenacity.
Personally, for me, I love it. I love the Unbending Will because the main idea is if CW decides, I'm going to jump into the middle of this fight, somebody needs to finish him off. And obviously, it's clear that CW... he should be okay, right? Yeah, totally fine. He's able to battle mirror image in time, but at the end of the day, right, it's going to be whether or not this Arlet can take out CW during the mid-game. Towards the later stages, it's going to be a little bit harder.
Absolutely. I mean, looking at it again, both teams are just playing it super slow. They both want to contest for the first neutral objective, having a Martis and a Lancelot. So they are going to be transitioning over to that XP lane just in a bit, and you'll see already, yeah, Faramis, Sanz first on the board towards that XP lane.
I think a lot is riding on Kairi's shoulders because you can't expect Kiboy to just walk in freely and get a Minoan Fury in the middle of the box to change the fight, right? Kairi is going to have to bait out a couple of spells, and this is what we're seeing here. Kiboy is going to hit level 4 before joining.
Okay, charging in already. Shark, Tyrant's Revenge, going to be able to connect onto Boots, but he doesn't have the Tyrant's Rage just yet. Kairi with the Phantom Execution, cancelled away. Boots looking to re-engage already onto base player 1, who will use the Mortal Coil to disengage. URESHIII in the midst of it all right now, caught in, has the final slash to get the reset on the Vengeance. ONIC holding on to that turtle. Sanz trying to zone best player away as he pops in a Mortal Coil. No more Mortal Coil to play for. Kiboy going to be knocked up. He does have the Minions Fury right now, and he will be able to use it right now with the Ultra to help them out. Kairi wins Retribution battles. Best player 1 is forced to back away. The RWM locks them in place, but Kairi and Sanz jump to the back. It's URESHIII who finds a trade back, but it's only the Roamer here traded in, and he is caught in a tough spot. Able to use the Vengeance once again. Sanz knocked up, has the Shadow Stampede, but Tyrant's Rage locks him down. Sanz might just be taken down here, but Kairi finds in the trade. Sanz falls in the back. Shark now going to be targeted down by Boots, who's looking for the kill. A few more hits should do it, and he does not have Flicker. ONIC win out. It's a 3 for 2, and they get the turtle.
What a long extended fight there. While all this was happening, CW did get chunked out pretty hard, forced to recall early on. Basic is holding on very nicely to his lead for now. But the real question is, how are they going to play for these upcoming neutral objectives? We saw what it looks like, and unfortunately, for Outplayed, it's a little tough to get in on these fights, especially when Kiboy has his ultimate.
You see that OP understands that their strength, or at least in a 50-50 matchup like this, lies in the re-engage. They really tried hard after baiting out a few ults from ONIC. They had that step in, but from there on, ONIC understood that, yeah, no, you can get a better re-engage, but when we're able to split you up and go for the 2-for-1s when you're not ready for it, they're going to win out, and that's what got them this 1K gold lead in under 4 minutes.
Can we also talk about the fact that every time we've seen a Minotaur so far, it's not like everybody immediately starts switching over to Purifies, right? Nobody on the side of OP decided to go Purifies. They wanted to have their Flickers available to make the play, that re-engage like you talked about. They don't want to sit there and anchor down.
They technically have 3 people with anti-CC. Vengeance, Mortal Coil, and the RWM. So maybe that's the reason as to why they're not going for that. For Basic, I think on the Beatrix, it's just natural to go for the Flicker, right? You don't really want to go on that Purify. It gets you out of the lane so easily, and yeah, the Purify is just not a good mix, I think, with the Beatrix.
If anything, it's ONIC who's respecting that fact, right? The RWM is an almost for sure catch. But look at this, Shark. Stretch it up!
Okay, good shot, but Sanz brings them back. The Shadow Stampede, Kairi now is dealing some damage, poking him down. Best player already 1 level down. Kairi has a level of advantage. He can actually get 2 levels.
And that costs Shark nothing, that costs Outplay nothing. So they know that for the next minute or so, Sanz can't Purify.
Yep, they know that for a fact. More importantly, the ultimates are all available for both sides, but wait, hold on.
Okay, best player one has just used the Retribution. Kairi able to dash away from the Tyrant's Revenge, and that should just be a free turtle over to ONIC. He baited out that Retribution super quick. Shark still is trying to give the team vision, trying to give space for the rest of the team to work with it, as in the bottom lane, URESHIII is getting out-leveled as well. It might be a solo kill. Butsss jumps in, the passive is fully on. Kairi doesn't decide to rotate down below, but URESHIII is forced to use Flicker defensively.
I think they're going to convert on this. Are they going to? No, Kairi's not going to break from his path. He needs to make sure he ends up on that top side of the map rather than helping out with the bottom side, because it generally, you're not really going to interact with Arlet anyways, and half the time it's going to be Basic who's going to get targeted down in these major fights. On the other hand, right, best player has not been able to find the space and time to really get in on this, right? Early game Martis, you're expecting to get early decimates, to finish off kills, but the way that ONIC is moving across the map, making sure that there's no holes in their defense.
I'm loving the pressure that ONIC is placing down on the OP. It's slowly but surely. They're not ballooning out of control. It's a slow 1K, 2K gold lead over the past 6 minutes. And because of that, they're winning the lanes. ONIC, bottom and top, even mid. Look, it's a 2v1, and then here up top, it's a 3v3.
And they're sandwiching OP.
Look at the positioning. Yeah, no. And yeah, they leave URESHIII down bottom, but I'm not so sure what he can get there.
Kiboy, Minute Fury, no Purify, and that's what it does. Everybody locked down. Who's going to be falling right there as he pops in the real world manipulation to sustain. Best player one rotating up top, but he's a bit too late to the party as he's going to be chunked down. Shadow Stampede not just connecting just yet. Tyrant's Revenge blocking Kairi down, the bouncing ball as well, stopping him from using the puncture, but he still is able to play it slow to get out of that situation as ONIC just pick up a free turret.
Really good timings on the Thorn Rose, dodging a couple of hits and especially dodging the turret shots to put him into lethal range. 30 more seconds till Turtle comes back up, and if you look at the altar, Sanz should technically get his full altar relatively soon. In the meantime here, Butsss with that 1 kill lead, and especially with the Black Dragon form and the fact that he is able to disrupt so many members from the side of OP, all of their flickers are basically down.
Well, synchronized, Shark get a catch.
Bouncing ball as well, Kairi locked down, but he just stays there. Thorn Rose puncture out. Calm, cold.
All right, admit it. Who is sweating here? You have to admit, you gotta be a very confident jungler to sit in front of the nearest Ashen, open up the sidebar just to see the items.
Here we go again.
Kiboy and Sanz brought together. CW is already down below right now. Chunking Shark pretty low, half HP. Doesn't have the regen, it seems, right now. CW is going to be able to regen back up. It seems like Kairi is able to clear out the purple buff already. Getting that level lead once again. Secured the turtle. There's no contest from Outplay. They tried their best to go for the mid lane. There might actually be a contest right now. Ooh, Retribution going to be able to secure that. Minus Fury and the knockup onto URESHIII as Butsss isolates the members. The Petrify connects onto Hooon, and that's Butsss diving all the way under the turret, waiting out the real world manipulation, but the call also comes down to save Butsss. He's still very low. Final slash in the back. Kiboy going to be able to knock 2 members up as CW pokes them down. Not enough damage just for now. URESHIII is going to be executed by the President Execution. Kairi on the back. He keeps on going. He might get shut down though. Kiboy down. It's a shutdown, but it's also a wipe out for ONIC as early as the 8th minute of the game.
You see how the 2K, 3K gold lead came into play. They were able to juggle underneath, and yeah, Shark keeps getting these catches, but to no avail. There's no follow-up.
Wait. Okay.
He's good. He's good. Shark is able to walk away from that, but you got to admit, Kairi sees angles that most people don't, and the fact is, they knew, and especially when you're looking at Hooon here, he played it as great as he can, right? He was managing the shot residue. He quickly dropped down the real world manipulation to keep himself alive, but look at the angle that Kairi finds the hop from the best player right on top of Hooon to secure this kill, buys enough time for the rest of the team to start wiping them out.
I mean, it was a wipeout for the cost of maybe a couple on the way out, but they converted out their minds, went all the way as deep as tier 2 in mid. So that's a main artery that Outplay cannot farm from anymore. And it's not like basically he's having a great time. You see how CW was just free farming, free hitting in mid?
He is just getting so much gold here. Let's look at actual 2,000,
almost 2,000 ahead.
God, this is not going to be an easy game at all. And the worst part for Outplay is the fact that their tier 1 structures are already gone and the mid tier 2 is gone. The entire jungle is basically Kairi's at this point.
Best weak side goal laner in Indonesia, CW, right? We named him that, and right now he's showing it. A lot of them rotations early on was mostly just 2 words. Butsss getting him ahead in that winning matchup already. And CW is able to farm up so well. And the fact is, you know, I think I saw Shark more often in the gold lane. So the fact that he's able to just sustain, this is why the Claude gets picked up. The Swiss Army knife with a Purify as well, unkillable.
Shark's not only in the gold lane. Shark is in bushes wherein He's looking for kills that Outplay has no business going for. He started doing this at about minute 1, minute 2, and it's not converting. So I'm guessing it was a tempo misunderstanding between the rest of the team. So yeah, no, now Outplay is catching up. There's no way they're going to contest this. Sure, there is a push up top that basically bought for them, but no, the one scores the first Lord for ONIC here, slowly ballooning up to 7K ahead in 10 minutes. And a free turret too, there's nothing OP's getting.
Yep, they're not getting anything, but that's totally fine here because remember, OP have high ground defense, and I think that's going to be really important. We've seen in the last match what high ground defense does for you. It buys you that extra bit of time, and if you have to drag this out to 20 minutes, OP are going to have to make the attempt to do so.
All right, what are you supposed to do right now, right? I mean, for Outplay, I think there's only one response to this play. It's to just turtle up in the base.
That's right.
But ONIC have a pretty good siege comp.
Don't push it, don't push it. Starting up with the RWM, pop that holy shield.
They're not going to get enough off of this, and I think even ONIC recognizes that, man, this Lord's too weak. We'll wait for the next one. And I think even for Outplayed, where do you go from here? Who can you really punish? Because Kiboy, he can hold on, actually hold OP hostage with the Minoan Fury. You never know when he's going to come in with it.
Okay, penetrated Shark already just fully committing onto Kiboy, but the Cauldron saves him, and the Minoan Fury with a flicker in front. He finds 3 members under the base turret though, no minions coming down. That was a mistake. Kiboy loses his life. ONIC now still disengaging. They've gotten enough damage onto the base turret to say, I'm happy with the trade, but they cannot go for more.
Signs of life from Outplay, and again, it rings true that one thing that they should do at this point, approaching 12 minutes into the game, down almost 8K, is to stay in their base, defend up, build up on Hooon, who I think is maybe short one more. He needs one more main item for these high ground defenses to not just stay inside their base.
Absolutely. Look at the items. Look how far Sanz is ahead of Hooon right now. Very, very far. Very, very far in terms of the items. 3 items to 2, and even better yet, he is stacking up very fast. So the more they clump up together, the more they want to try and go for this high ground defense. If they fall into the cone of the Ghost Bursters, at least for Sanz, he knows he's going to get value. Just set it up for CW.
Purple buff CW. Did you see that? Right. They're already trying to funnel onto CW. So it's already a very different ONIC to the last time we saw them. Remember, at M4, it was Kairi-centric. Now, it feels very balanced.
And isn't that the same way that EVOS Legends have evolved too?
Yeah.
They've been able to say, you know, it's not just about brands. Now it's just not about Kairi. We will let y'all do your thing. And yeah, Sanz was the MVP then, but here you see him that he's ready to save his teammates. He's ready to dive in there, maybe even die for the cause. But I'm hoping that they don't have to do that. Because again, now shoes on the other foot. ONIC, what do they have to do? I'd say wait for the Luminous Lord. They'll crash in, and I'm seeing at least 2 inhibitors going down.
Yeah, you know, at least for Outplay, they're playing extremely disciplined right now. And they know that walking out of the base is just a little too risky, especially with gold lead developed by ONIC. 8.2K so far, the current gold deficit. And with the next 42K mark from the side of ONIC, you can expect that their cores will have at least 4 of their core items. It's rough to begin with, and I think 2 more Lords until OP is able to equalize.
2 Lords, maybe one of them stolen. Like, I think they can survive 1 more Lord that's on ONIC, and then maybe they can try to steal for the other. But something to note, I didn't notice, ONIC's draft, there's very little magic damage, but the fact that URESHIII had to build an Oracle for himself means that he's respecting Sanz. The fact that Ghost Bursters might deal enough damage to take down this unbending Will Arlott.
And it's strange to see because ONIC aren't really clumping up in these team fights, right? And usually when you have a cold ulcer to play with, you want to just clump up, and that's why OP really went in on this box composition. Thing is, ONIC have been very sporadic in the way they tackle these team fights, but like you mentioned, low magic damage, only Sanz. Basic, just bottle win of nature. So that is definitely a power spike for him that he can utilize.
Well, don't forget, keep your eyes on Kiboy. He's got his flicker back up again, and we saw how much damage he can do with the Minoan Fury, and with the 3rd hit of it being flickered into the middle of the enemy team, getting big knockups as well. At least for Outplay, they can recognize we can try to cancel it out, but that's a lot of resources that's being dedicated to Kiboy.
Here we go, Lord crashing on through. Mid goes down, bottom up next. There's a wave up top that Kairi's brought in.
Okay, this is just the siege right now. Oh, Basic is going to be engaged on right there. Doesn't do enough damage onto Kairi. Still going to be able to be super safe in the back. Boots pops in Black Dragon form. Real world inflation pop down as well. URESHIII can be zoned away from the team. Doesn't have the final slash anyway, so look for anything more. And ONIC say we're happy with 2 base turrets. We might look for 1 more as we go and invade first.
Well, to be fair, Hooon doesn't have the RWM. If they really want to force it, they can absolutely do so on the second wave, right?
Oh, final splash. It actually brings Sanz back, but he has to call Alter, and now the collapse on the back. CW with the laser duet onto the base. Hooon gets taken very low, still saving that flicker right now. Kairi is going to be caught. He has the dashes though, and CW now is going to be able to melt them down one by one. It's a double kill for CW. A 3-for-0 as ONIC will still pull back. The discipline, they do not want to force it.
It's
Or maybe they
dangerous.
do.
They're very low. They're very low. It's hard. Kairi might survive, yes, but maybe not Kiboy. Maybe not CW, but they're still gonna push.
16 seconds on the clock for the death timers right now. The base is wide open, and CW will just go for it right now with a battle mirror image. 15 minutes in, no minions, but it does not matter. Dominance in game number 1 presented by ONIC.
I told you, as soon as that RWM is down, at least they know for a fact they cannot force anything onto ONIC.